Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Neil Haley Show. I'm the host of the show, Neil Haley. You can go to my website, totaltutor.net, for more information, or neilhaley.com. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley. Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley. Instagram, Total Tutor. Pinterest, Neil Haley. And Google+, and also on Periscope at Total Tutor. We're waiting for our guest to call on the line, but I do have my co-host as the filler, Peter Elvidge. Peter, thanks for calling, and I wanted to chat a few things with you before our next guest will be calling in. You know, we're going to be going from 9 to 11, 8 guests, and I wanted to hear how things are going with you. I know that you've launched a new network and things are going really well for you. Tell us about that, Peter.
Yeah, so we've launched the Perseverance Network, and that's on YouTube, that's on Twitter, it's soon to be on Facebook, it's also soon to be on SoundCloud. Doing fantastic. People are seeing views, they're seeing, for instance, we're hosting the Total Celebrity Show, Celebrity Interviews, which are getting awesome responses, and it's continuing to grow, and the fun thing about it is that I can host awesome content as well as get an awesome message out there about perseverance and inspiration and motivation and education. So it's definitely been awesome. I would say like last couple of weeks has been the major evolution of the network. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, picking up celebrity interviews, also the Total Education Hour interviews, and seeing how important the platform of a place like Facebook and YouTube are by taking radio interviews and to make them into videos. Very attractive, people can listen, and a lot of people just love the video for sure. So you have a lineup every day of different programming then, correct?
No, so I have the celebrities and various interviews from the Total Education Network. I also have a musician who's also totally blind who does numerous different things on SoundCloud. His name is Jordan Strom, or his and then the other things that I have are like maybe art related things of mine, maybe some inspirational messages and videos. And the fun thing is that soon I might be having my first celebrity musician on my network. So that is an interesting and very exciting thing coming up. I can't say too much yet, but it's definitely in the works, and
great
for them to be released very soon.
So let's talk about the one that you have. You play his music and stuff. Tell us a little about this guy that you are playing on a regular basis and with music and stuff.
Yeah, so his name's Jordan Strom. So basically, despite his blindness, he does music and music therapy, and he makes his own tracks and his own sounds from various different aspects of normal day sounds, drumming, all these different things. And he's going into implementing the sorry, I lost my train of thought. He's going into implementing his music into both an educational standpoint as well as a side standpoint for enjoyment purposes. And the fun thing is because what I'm hoping to do is with the releases of his music, I hope to show how he makes the music, because I think that's a really interesting factor because of what he uses. There's a lot of various different pieces of technology that a lot of people don't know about, or they do know about, but they don't understand how they work. And I think that'd be a fantastic thing moving forward for a lot of people, who want to learn about blindness and visual impairments, or maybe want to learn about a device that might be, accessible or usable for their own students or for their own kids, or maybe for an adult or friend.
And what I think it brings to the table is that you're providing a platform for a variety of genres, and you have a lot of hours of programming to fill and opportunities and a place for them to get some presence, and that's why you're looking for different artists and different things and bringing the music to the table. The interesting thing is, since you've been putting the celebrity interviews up, it's another platform with your audience on Facebook, your audience on YouTube, to hear what's going on with some certain celebrities and things like that, Peter, right?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of response to the celebrity interviews and seeing the various different networks that people are on. People are responding, people are commenting, favoriting, retweeting, all of this awesome stuff because they're seeing, very notable celebrities that they know, and maybe some that they don't, that are new to them. And it's both a fun experience, not only for the sake of educational life, because you may learn about someone or may learn something about someone you didn't know, or from an entertainment standpoint of maybe hearing or seeing a celebrity that you happen to know from a particular movie or particular TV show. I've definitely had that experience
right.
putting the different content up, and it's definitely been relatable for me. So I do know that it's definitely been relatable to the various viewers on the various different networks.
And that's great. That's great. And what particularly happens, and you're seeing on Facebook, is that Facebook really likes to see good content. They're looking out for really interesting stuff, and then it takes off. It seems like that Facebook will allow it to be shared more, allow it to have more airplay, right, and opportunity for people to see it.
Yeah, because I think that was the difference between, let's say, any celebrity interview versus
right.
our particular ones, is that we're doing some extra tasks to make sure, that the celebrity knows that they're being promoted, to let the audience know.
Correct. All right, so I just was informed that our guest is on the line now. Ken Feinberg, Santa's Boot Camp. Ken, thanks for calling. How are you?
Great, fantastic. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely, Ken. So tell me again, it's getting close to this time, Christmas and everything. So tell me a little bit about what's going on with Santa's Boot Camp and the movie and stuff.
Well, I'm very happy to announce that Santa's Boot Camp gets released on November the 15th through Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, and you can get that everywhere on November the 15th.
Fantastic.
And I'll tell you a little about the movie.
Yeah, tell us about the movie.
Well, Santa's Boot Camp is a story about an elf strike and some teenagers that have to clean up a mess made by kids around the world. Basically what happens is kids become so bratty and self-centered, and they're asking for the most outrageous, materialistic things, that Santa's elves decide they want to go on strike and not make toys for these kind of kids anymore. And so this is just a few days before Christmas, and Santa is in such dire straits that he brings in some naughty teenagers to help him save Christmas.
Oh, wow. And you know how those naughty teenagers can be in certain ways, for sure, and that makes a lot of fun. How'd you come up with the idea with the project, Ken?
Well, I used to be a working actor in LA on Buffy and Star Trek and things like that, and after playing all the big bad guys for so long, I said, I want to do something a little more interesting creatively. And so I opened an acting academy in Atlanta, Georgia, where I've been training young actors to work in movies for a long time now. And part of the training for me is you have to be on set. You have to understand what happens on the film set. So part of the training is we produce films for the actors to act in. And, mostly they're short films. But this year, the year we made Santa's Boot Camp, my editor said to me, with all the shorts and commercials we produced and edited last year, we could have made a feature. So let's make a feature that's appealing to somebody outside of our little world. And so we came up with the idea of Santa's Boot Camp because people understand Santa Claus, but also we have, when working with young people, you understand that they're trying to mature. They have one foot being a child and one foot being an adult. They have bullying issues. They have self-discovery issues. They have being themselves issues. And so all these sort of issues are incorporated into the film because, the characters have to live through this. And one of my favorite parts of the movie is, they're not being cooperative. Teenagers aren't really that cooperative. So they're not being cooperative with Santa. So he sends them over to watch naughty, nice videos. And they have to go over there and watch these videos of other kids and have to vote whether they're naughty or nice. And everything's all fun for them until they see themselves do something not really nice. And they have to vote themselves naughty, that they've done something really bad. They've bullied someone, they've framed someone for something they did, they've cyberbullied or something that they've learned something about themselves.
And that's the important point of Christmas and the idea of being able to have that story, right, Ken? Have that story go out to the masses that understand what the true meaning of Christmas is, and that to remember about it, right? Not to really just goof off. And these kids really learn their lesson, don't they?
Yeah. They kind of see it as a bigger picture than their own world. Whatever's happening with me right in this moment, there's more to life than what's happening in the world. There's a bigger world than just whatever I'm doing. And my 6-year-old daughter said to me, "Hey, Dad, I know what your movie's about." I go, "You do? What's it about?" He goes, "It teaches kids to be nicer to each other." And I said, "Yeah, I'll take that." I said, "Yeah, it kind of does do that, because it kind of makes you have an understanding of how you affect other people." And one of the reasons why we chose Santa Claus is because he's like a symbol for forgiving and unconditional love. And so when you deal with Santa Claus, like, you're dealing with that side of you that wants to cooperate and help other people, as opposed to take from other people to make your world better. If that makes sense.
It definitely makes sense in so many ways, for sure, Ken. And I think that's a fabulous thing. Peter, any questions for Ken?
Yeah, actually, so I was curious. So I've had the experience of being a movie reviewer, and I was curious from a movie reviewer standpoint, because I've seen so many different Christmas-oriented movies. Like for yours, not only for myself and for the audience, what's the, differentiating factor that people should see your movie in a different light, despite kind of grouping them together with other Christmas movies? Like, what's the uniqueness factor or quality that you guys were trying to project that's different from what has been previously made in the past?
Well, first of all, I think this is a film that the entire family can watch together, whether you're kids, teenagers, adults, grandparents. It's something that everyone can see, and there's something in that for everybody. Right. Secondly, I think our story is very strong, and it's the kind of movie that when it's over, it's not like, okay, watch that movie, that was nice, but we can talk about certain aspects of the movie. What affected you? What did you learn? What did you think about this? It's not really like an in-your-face kind of educational movie, but the journey that some of these kids go on in the movie is like, I can identify with that. Whether if you're one of the elves, or like the elves go on strike, they're like the younger kids, like their demands aren't being met. Why aren't their demands being met? Why are they behaving like this? You're the bratty elves, the not so nice elves that leave Santa in the moment when he needs them most, or the teenagers who there was a pair of teenagers that are sisters. Why are they so mean to each other? Why don't they support each other? Or the teenagers I kind of describe as the Breakfast Club, because they don't know each other. They're all kind of different, and they have to get along. They have to cooperate, to work together as a team. How do they do that? Why would they want to do that? They all try to escape. One of them is like a goody two shoes, a tattletale, and he's like, I don't want to go along with this. I don't want to do this. Like fine, don't rat us out. And so, they're conflicting how they have to join together to become a team. And then, and then one of the things I really like is that the way everybody becomes successful at the end is because they cooperate and work together, to achieve something bigger than just what they themselves want individually.
Fantastic, Ken. Best place we can find information on you and stuff. Where can we go?
You can go to santasbootcamp.com and creativestudiosofAtlanta.com is a studio where we train actors in Atlanta.
Awesome. Well, Ken,
and the movie comes out November 15th. You can get it in Target, get it in Walmart, you can get all kinds of places. Hulu, download it, and we're excited about it. It's a great film.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for calling, Ken, and take care.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, take care.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye. And I'm excited that we do have our next guest on the line, but I do have my co-host, Peter Elvidge. Peter, interesting guest. Our next guest is very interesting as well. And I love some of the things that she's doing, especially with Neem's themes. So I'm excited to welcome the program, Esther Van Zyl. Esther, thanks for calling. How are you?
Hi, Neil. I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. And tell us specifically how you became an actress. Especially, I know your background, you're not from the United States, so tell a little bit of the story and stuff.
Sure, yeah. So I'm from South Africa originally. I know it doesn't sound very much like it.
Yeah.
I'm sort of in the process of becoming Americanized. But I started acting at a very young age. I said my first poem at like a little local competition when I was 6 years old. And ever since then, it's just been school plays, and that rolled into university. I did my bachelor's in acting in South Africa. And straight after that, I came over here to study acting for film, because there's just, I think we're like 20 years or so behind America when it comes to filmmaking and movies. And that's sad to me. I want South Africa to get to where we are here with that, but they're just not yet. So
not
I'm
there
here.
Yet. Yeah. This is where you can work for sure, and all that. And latest projects. I think first we'll go with again Neem's themes, and I love them because I think they really speak to specific areas. And I told Neem this. I said, that I think a meme and Neem don't shoot as well in certain ways, the way that these videos are presented and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely tuning into that whole popular media thing right now, and everything that's going on Facebook, everything that's trending that people find funny, and that becomes sort of a part of everybody's day. If you just sit and scroll through Facebook, Neem's theme sort of forms part of that tapestry of what we're all watching, what we're all consuming today, just on the run. So yeah, I think it's great and fun, and it's really smart, and it's so much fun to make them and to be a part of the cast, and to see what Neem has for us next. Every time he sends out a script, he's like, "Oh, family, we're doing our next Neem's theme." And it's really, really exciting, and it's a lot of fun.
So is it great to? It seems like the cast gets along really well. That's what it sounds like. Hey, family, and what? Yeah, tell us that.
Oh my goodness, yeah, no, it's so great. Neem's so awesome about that. He wants everyone to feel like they have a stake in the project, and he places a huge focus on the shoot day, of just creating a fun environment. Once we shot out in where is it? New Jersey. Yes, we were all out in New Jersey, and we were at a house, and we had like a barbecue halfway through the shoot. It's just a really fun place to be, and everyone's like building each other up, and it's all positive, and we're all just pouring positive energy into it, and that's how I know it's going to become even bigger.
I think
it's already doing so. Yeah,
it's doing so well on Facebook, and I got to give a shout out to Neem about the tip he told me about. Don't post YouTube on Facebook. Post just videos straight to Facebook, because my stuff is starting to take off, just putting some of the radio celebrity interviews on my Facebook page. So again, a shout out to Neem giving me that social media tip. When I'm the expert on Twitter, I'm learning more and more about Facebook. But tell us some of these videos, because I think they're so funny. Like some of the themes and some of them that he's created so far. and what part you've played
Sure.
in some of them. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We all play sort of different parts every time. It's kind of like American Horror Story and those new TV shows with like recycled casts, you know. So every time we get a script, we sort of see who we're going to play, and the parts that I've done so far, I think the most standout one was for an episode called "When a Man Texts a Woman,"
yes,
which was about. This crazy friend, or you know Jordan Galper. She's a wonderful actress.
Jordan's awesome.
So she and I are in this one with Stephanie Foltz, who plays the third friend. There's this group of three friends. This one girl gets a text from her potential boyfriend, and then the whole episode kind of looks at how girls overanalyze and overthink texts from men, and then it kind of snaps between the girls having their conversation and the guys kind of looking at their side, and they just, you know, they send off the first thing that makes sense, and they don't think about it at all, and go into it and over it and under it and through it, and I think that really speaks to how it really is. I mean, there wasn't much acting needed. We all understood the sort of mental process.
No, I think what's funny about that video is the fact that you just don't know how, when guys, you know, sometimes text things, you have to, what do they really mean by this? And that's the funny thing about it, is it really speaks to millennials, but it also speaks to anyone that's involved in technology and in communication, when we're not talking to each other on the phone and we don't know really what we're saying in a text. Sometimes we can misconstrue things a lot, can't we, through text messaging?
So you're so right. You're absolutely right. And it drives me insane too. But you're missing so many dimensions of communication over text. You can't see, you don't know how the person's saying it, you don't know what they are really mean, you know? So it is quite relevant in that sense. It's funny, but it has sort of a serious undertone, which I like about a lot of the stuff that Dean's doing. Like, it's silly and it's fun, and it's kind of things that we poke fun at, but the things that we poke fun at are usually rooted in something more serious in society that is kind of a problem, you know?
Right. And
we make light of it and find humor in it, but it does deliver significant social commentary, I think.
It definitely does. And okay, your other project is involving, tell us a little bit about that. I think that's the Bonbon thing, right? Correct? Am I on the right correct?
Yes, the Bonbon thing. So, it's called Make It, and it's produced by Bonbon Networks, which is the same network that does the Ask Bonbon show and a bunch of new TV shows that Bonnie Bruder is producing.
Right.
And I started working on the Ask Bonbon show sort of behind the scenes, like hosting their sort of behind the scenes on set while they were shooting. And Bonnie, the amazing host of the Bonbon show, she saw me and some of the other young girls kind of hanging around. We were wearing these T-shirts and we called ourselves the Bonbon Girls. And then they came up with this whole thing. They were going to make a TV show for us. And the show is called Make It, and it follows 12 actresses, models, creatives who are busy making it in New York. So we're in the process, we're in the hustle, in the grind, in quotation marks, and just to sort of take the lid off what that life is like, what we do day to day.
And when you see, Esther, in that day-to-day life, is you just never know what calling you're going to have, what opportunity, what gig, what thing you're going to try to get casted in.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going out there, especially in the New York City area, right? There's so many opportunities, yet there's so many people.
Oh yeah, and it's so uncontrollable, you know. And I think that's what drives most actors nuts a little bit, you know. If you want to control your career, you're going to go crazy. And I have several times, you know. You think yourself and spin yourself into a little washing machine, and then you need to go on a hiatus and go upstate to Cold Springs to breathe for a little bit, you know. That's also part of the grind. But I feel like what I've just realized is the more you can almost let go and hold it lightly and not worry so much about, oh, I have like this amount of time to get cast in something this big, and just go out and talk to people. And I mean, most of the parts and things that I've gotten and the great opportunities that I am getting are coming just from being in New York and being around the kind of people who are doing the kind of projects that I want to be doing. And, humans connect. And
exactly.
I've been getting work just by connecting with someone and understanding their vision and sharing a passion more so than, preparing my little monologue and like going and auditioning for this person and saying, I'm good enough to be cast in your thing. It's really all about the connection, and it's all about having a shared love and passion for the work and where it's going to go and the people it's going to affect. And that is the kind of work I want to be involved in any case.
Pete, Peter, do you have a question for Esther?
Yeah, so I was just curious, what would you say is the role that kind of puts you off your game? Like you needed to do a little bit more research or a little bit more work to get into the swing of the part.
The mindset. Yeah. So I would say sort of the biggest thing that I've done so far, or biggest, like the thing that has carried the most weight and is most meaningful, and it's currently in post-production, is a film called Life After Her. And it was filmed just after I graduated from film school last year with the director who I met there. And we wrote the project together.
Oh, wow.
And as was in pre-production, it sort of gathered steam, and we got another writer on board, just sort of a more experienced acting coach of mine, Anna Maria Ciampulli. And she helped us bring the project to my people, and eventually we got an amazing producer who is a producer from Hulu, Melvin James, on board, and we flew up a crew from Brazil, really amazing camera people. So this became this really big project, and it's about a young Catholic girl, who is in the unfortunate position of having lost her mother years previously. She's being raised by a very religious, oppressive father. And her best friend in the whole wide world passes away unexpectedly. The film opens at her best friend's funeral. And this girl is just in the worst possible state you can imagine, emotionally and in life. She's going through puberty. She doesn't have a clue what's going on.
Oh my gosh.
And now she's
Esther, I'm sorry we do have to interrupt because we are going to have to close it. Best place we can find information on you, Esther, and stuff. Where can we go? Where can we find information on you, Esther? Where's the best place?
My stuff? Facebook. Facebook is good. I'm on Facebook. I am on IMDb, but all my stuff is on my website called esthervanzile.com.
All right, Esther, thanks for calling, and take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
that was
you so much.
You're welcome. That was the Neil Haley Show. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next week.
BPTV. Come volunteer. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be here.
BPTV. Come on in, make a show. It's still fun after all these years.